our problems get so small. We break up with lovers and friends, make love to the rumors instead.
Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Absolver. Here I've got a few fights for you going on, and if you hear me occasionally fade out of my speech flow, then ignore that. It's because I'm texting a friend. But yeah, here we go. So, I have learned a lot more about Absolver now, and you can just watch these fights in the background, as I'm sure I'll end up talking a lot longer than I originally intended to. But yeah, okay, so at the moment of this, I hadn't even prestiged once, but this was quite some time ago. So, since then, I've prestiged twice, which, in case you didn't know, that means you go up to level 60, then you restart at 0, but you keep all your stats. It's just that, I guess you just become more prestigious, and you get crystals for every level up after you prestige the first time. At this point, I've become a Grandmaster, meaning that I've learned every single attack in the game, both sword and striking. And, no, this time I just forgot what I was going to say. It wasn't because of texting. Oh, and I've beaten all the bosses at level 3. And so, to do that, you have to be Combat Trials level 60. This guy irritates me so much. People like him in general, you can tell that they're noobs, and it's just so irritating because all they do is start out with that basic jab over and over again. And it's honestly just the most annoying thing ever. People who play timid, jumping in and out and stuff, just annoys me so much. Or people who just build movesets to just be as cheap as possible. I hate that in fighting games. You're always going to find that in fighting games where people can customize their own character. That's why I don't like playing these kinds of games as much, because it like unevens the playing field and puts people at a disadvantage. Like, it allows players to make movesets and stuff where it's not really their skill that determines whether or not they win. It's just like how they can abuse the system, basically, and like string together combos that are so difficult to actually defend against. And recently I started using the Forsaken style more because it's basically just the same as Windfall, but in the way that it functions, but you get a parry which stops your opponent for a second, as opposed to the Windfall, which just like moves around your opponent, gives you an opening kind of. So yeah, at this point you can see that I'm still actually learning moves as that guy's hitting me. That's what the little circle thing is. But so far, for the most part, I enjoy the game. Like, it's not a bad game at all. It's just the people in it. And for one, I wish they would have made co-op easier to like join up with people, stay connected to them, and like really do things easier in general. And also, there's going to be like no actual transition here whatsoever in a second, so we're just going to jump into the next thing because I didn't feel like adding those. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, this guy, he irritates me because the first time I think I won like a couple rounds, and then he came back and just like got a major comeback on me. And that's because I didn't know how to fight him, and I was honestly getting lucky at first. Then the second time, I don't know what happened, but he actually just like swept me, like clean sweep. See that leg sweep there? That's what he did to me. But yeah, and then, oh god, my phone. Okay. But yeah, and then the third time, I actually learned how to fight him and like what his tactics were and stuff. So you see me kind of do a little bitty ultra instinct and just like smack him around. So yeah, that's a good time. This first round actually triggered me because he kicks so much and it's just so hard to defend again. The second round, that one really made me angry because at that point I actually knew how he fought, but for some reason I just couldn't beat him. Like, it really irritates me when I'm fighting people that I know I can beat, and then I just don't win. Because they do some cheap crap or their moveset's absolute garbage. But yeah, I'll talk more in a second. But yeah, originally when I was talking about my thoughts on this game and my like 1,000 trophy special and everything, I didn't get around to talking about what I thought of the online experience. Really, the online experience is pretty good. Combat trials are good. It's just finding people that are like really timid or have like ridiculous combo strings that make it like unfavorable. And also things like that, where certain moves take priority when they obviously shouldn't. Like the jump out elbow, that's one that you see right there that takes priority over a lot of stuff. Like his leg sweep, I feel like should still hit my legs because like they're not that high off the ground. And I've had plenty of times where I'm fighting people and I'm like, so why didn't I hit you this thing? It's that jump out elbow, dude. Like, moves that should obviously hit first. Also, I hate how he just spam leg sweeps. That's one of the things I'm talking about, when people just spam the same move over and over again. Yeah, and then also, I don't like it how people can interact with you when you're just casually going around through the game. I feel as though it would be a lot better if people always had to declare a fight with you first and you had to accept it for them to actually be able to hit you outside of combat trials. Because like it really makes the game a lot more difficult and a lot less fun to play outside of combat trials when people are constantly like, trying to distract you. Also, I don't understand how he wasn't dead right there. Like, look at how little health he has. I just hit him with such a strong attack, too, and like, he had practically no health all of these rounds, and still somehow managed to beat me. That's what really made me angry. Like, at this point, there's no way he shouldn't have lost. I mean, shouldn't have, yeah, shouldn't have. There's no way I shouldn't have won. That's the thing. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then the second round, like, it makes me angrier losing that one than the first, because somehow he just clean sweeps me, and I don't understand how. But then the third one, I just come back and slap the heck out of him. So yeah, this one is the one where he actually ends up like just clean sweeping me, basically. I'm pretty sure he actually does beat me all 3 times somehow. I don't know, I feel like I was probably like over anticipating him from the way he played the last game, and then the third round I just start fighting normally and doing stuff stupid. It's just all of his sweeping attacks are so annoying. All he does is just kick and sweep and kick and sweep and kick and sweep. The people who just have like rinse and repeat attacks, that's what really irritates me about this game. And then also the only thing about the online part of this game that irritates me is like how advanced the AI is. Like, okay, I get having an advanced AI and it's cool, and like having the computer adapt to you as you fight. It's a martial arts game, I understand. But when they're literally standing in the exact same place, dodging or absorbing or parrying like every single move you do back to back to back to back to back, that's just too much. Or when there's just a whole squad of them ganking you, and you've got virtually no chance against them, that's just too much. Like, they really need to do something about that. Or when you're, like, in co-op with another person, and they just appear in huge troves, like, way bigger than they normally do. Like, offline, there's only a few of them, like, here and there. And then online, you see quite a bit more. But then it seems like whenever you're in co-op, there's like 10 times more. Also, at this point, I wasn't really good at getting myself out of a stance and start fighting in my first position because I didn't understand combat decks as well because I had never built my own at that point. And honestly, at this point, I should have just went on and let him beat me and started over again. But yeah, Forsaken's really the style to master because it doesn't lower your stats as much as Dagger style. It doesn't like take damage like Cult, and it actually like stops your opponent for a split second, unlike Windfall. So it's not the easiest one to master because Stagger, basically you literally just move around your opponent. This is the one where I come back and just smack him, so that's a good time. But yeah, Forsaken's the way to go. Also, my school code 6KP. Any people who like actually watch or play Absolver end up seeing this, you guys can go ahead and join my school if you want. We got pretty good combat decks that I'm quite proud of, and for my like Warlove, Sword, and hand-to-hand, that'll be shown off in later videos and stuff. I just perfected it as of like today or yesterday or something because I just got the Grandmaster a few days ago. I don't know when it'll be compared to when you see this. But yeah, so that's about all I have to say for this. I guess from here I'll just comment on the fight. There'll be much more combat trial videos coming out later. Typically I only record the ones in which I either make a good comeback or I get beat at first and then learn my opponent and beat them, because I don't want to only do videos where I win, because that's not really genuine, and I don't want to like show just a whole bunch of me losing, because like what's the point of that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to mix it up with these, and so now I'm just on the road to combat level 100 for the last trophy I need in the game to get platinum. But yeah, as you can see, this time I wasn't really playing around as much as that guy. That noise you just heard, that symbolizes that you've learned a new move. And so, the game as of right now doesn't have a whole lot of story behind it, but like, there are videos showing more of the lore. I don't really understand it a whole lot better than I did when I made my other video, but like, I understand the actual gameplay itself way better than I did before. And so, after I beat him here, you'll see that I actually end up learning that kick attack that he was doing. But yeah, that's basically how you learn attacks. You just block them or use your defense ability, and then you learn that move. And he wanted to go again, but I was like, nah. So that's it, guys. Rate, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications, do all that good stuff. Goodbye.